Welcome to Lightning Strikes, home of the Oak Farms Premier League. We're going to review week number 14 of this league. We had some exciting things happen again. We had Joe Gateway at the front 10, shot 289. A couple teams shot over 3,000. FIGJAM Alert got scratched by over 100 pins, and that's just the beginning of this league.
Well, I was watching last week on my cell phone from Connecticut, listening to Tom and Greg. It was great to watch. It was fun. It really was. I just got back today from the horrible weather in New England. I think we were the last flight out of Bradley International last night. We got back here to Florida, so here we go. Match one, of course, 17-7, and Team 24, Eddie Foods, really put a hurting on FIGJAM, who 3 weeks ago just tore them up, and since then they've slowed down again and gotten beat. And Andy Candelaro beating Ricky 303 to 276 the last game, 290 to 268 scratch. Of course, you watched all of that, and it's got to be wonderful in a way to see a handicapped team or a lesser team do a job on the FIGJAM. The FIGJAM team they're up and down.
I got to announce it. It was a match to where you've had these before in your career, to where messengers are missing the corners.
Yeah.
Other team is touching hand pin and striking.
Yeah.
It was one of those where one team got all the breaks, the other team got 0 breaks.
Well, Alshire goes 4 700s in a row. He's averaging 240. All of a sudden, he's on the live stream pair, 181, 198. He's got to be in orbit when that happens. He's so good.
He's great.
For that to happen to him, and of course, Ricky shoots 268 the last game to go 276 with handicap, and Andy Candelaro is subbing, who's been bowling great, shot 800 in another league. 290 the last game to go 743. Great to have a sub comes in and gives you 743. That's a wonderful thing.
I'll take that.
Yes, so I.
But that match is very deceiving. Lee lost total by 7 pins to Greg Lindsay, who shot 279 game 1, 744 to 737. That always hurts there a little bit too.
Well, look what they had shot at him. The first game they had 1075 shot at him with handicap, 993 scratch. Then they go to the second game, they shoot 780, and I mean they got to be just about fit to be tied. Then the last game, 998 scratch, but it's too late. They take 3 out of 4 of the last game, but it's too late. They got beat up those first 2 horribly, winning only 2 points going into game 3, and at that point, they got to be fried. They're a great team, but they're not gelling. They're probably looking forward to the second half. I mean, I would never say that 6 weeks ago, but they're not going anywhere.
No, it's just one of those nights to where you don't get the carry, and they're leaving stone nines a lot, and no messengers going in front of pins when they should an easy carry. And
well, you look at game 2 with Alshire 198, Ricky 162, and Stouffer 197. Now, if somebody would say to you at the start of the night, I'll bet you in game 2 those 3 guys don't shoot 200 game 10-1. You got to take the bet.
Take it all day long.
I mean, why wouldn't you?
I bet my.
I mean, that is an impossible bet not to take, but there it is. Numbers don't lie. They shoot 565 for 3.
Well,
you're not going to beat anybody with that when you're a scratch team.
Or if the other bet, I give you that Eddie Foods would beat FIGJAM by over 100 pin scratch.
Yeah. It's just and I'll tell you, this is a good team with Andy Candelaro, and Jerry Lake is a very good bowler. But Andy Candelaro's been on a roll. He gets on there, how to get those guys loose. They go 2-2-3-1, 3-1, 3-1. They take 17 points, 30-31, a fantastic number. I think everybody's out to get FIGJAM. Obviously, they're the best scratch team in the league. So what's going to happen is everybody wants to beat them. That's the way sports is in this country. You always want to beat the Yankees. You always want to beat New England. That's the way we think as Americans. We want to beat the guy on top. And Eddie Foods just put a hammer to him.
There's not a better scratch team than those 4 anywhere.
I was telling my son Wednesday night that I would love for you to bowl with this team. This is a team for Michael. If you ever got on, this is a team that could win an Eagle. Not that Evan Baranecki doesn't belong on that team, but I would love for my son to bowl these guys as a lone lefty. Be a smoking team right there.
Ricky, say 2 lefties.
Well, 2 lefties. Let them team up with Ricky in doubles to see what happens. See if they get locked in. Of course, Ricky's bowling great. Got his average up to 226. He's coming. He's a sleeper for high average the second half too. He's coming.
You passed Scott Cobb at 227.
Yep, he went around Cobb, or real close. I think they're less than 100 pins on their season bet. That's going to be interesting now. Ricky caught him after 14 weeks. Cobb had him by 300 pins after a month, the total pinfall. Now it's down to like 50 or 60.
Scott's not in the best place right now.
No.
All right, match number 2 is going to be Lightning Strikes. He only took 4.5 points. They dropped down to 10th. They bowl against the Red Hot Tick Transport team, who took 19.5 and moved up to 7.
Tick Transport was like 22nd or 23rd early. Right now, they're the hottest team in the league. And look at that score, 30-20 with handicap 5, 4.5, 5, 5, 19.5, consistent every game. Everybody on all cylinders. Mike Jakanski, 1 and 3, but other than that, you got a sweep and a 3 and 1 and a 3.5. And Lightning Strikes have been bowling very well. Last week they bowled fantastic, and all of a sudden Chris Rich bowled well with 7-13, only 1 and 3. So Lightning Strikes still in a good place, but Tick Transport might be the team to watch.
Yeah.
They're a full handicap team with 150 a game. John Berkshire struggled the early part of the year. All of a sudden his average is coming up, and they got a lot of handicap. Jakanski and Kormancic, a lot of handicap there. These guys are bowling pretty good. Berkshire 626, Jakanski 580, and Kormancic 700 is a 192 average bowler. That is a monster.
That's his highest
in
the league.
90% of 235, averaging 192, 700. Whoa,
yes.
That's a lot of wood right there.
Yeah, it's tough seeing Eisenberg got swept 2 weeks in a row. You know, he got swept by John Berkshire, who bowled very well. Preston Willis bowled well this week after struggling last week. He didn't shoot 600 last week.
Yeah.
Clark Hallman went 3 and 1, which is good. And Tony took 3 and 1 versus Chris Rich. Chris bowled well with 278, 713. But Tony Komorsak bowled 450 on Monday in his league in Tampa.
Oh my God.
So I'm sure bowling on Wednesday here, he felt like he had the whole lane.
Look at his handicap scores with that 192 average, 294, 267, 265, 826 with handicap. That is a monster in this league.
He had the front 7 the first game. They were on the feature period. Yeah, it's
good for him. Good for him.
Those guys drive from Sarasota an hour and 10 minutes.
Glad to see them visit us and have a good night. That's what we want. We want teams from out of the area to believe this is the league to travel to. It will be next year. I see 36 teams. I see some Naples teams coming up, some Northport teams coming up, Port Charlotte teams coming up. It's a great league. It's set up properly with 2 halves, 18. You get paid for each half. They take the top 8 year-to-date points the second half. Great league, and we're proud of it. Our 24 teams are very happy. We've got good subs in the league.
They're great.
I mean, we've got subs coming in shooting 740, so there's plenty of guys sub for you that can knock them out.
A good team together.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
All right, match number 3 is going to be Dills 1 who took 21. They jumped up way up to 6. They bowled against Team 20, Killer Tomatoes, who dropped down to 20th.
I've been waiting for Blake Barnard to bowl good. This is his first good week. Blake Barnard is a very good bowler. Probably a little rusty. He didn't bowl for 5 years. You know, he come in here and probably lost. Most people that don't bowl for 5 years and have a couple of kids don't come back and all of a sudden they're averaging 220. But this is a man that averaged 220 in his life and had a lot of 300 games. He's a good bowler. He came around. Joshua Fales come in, very good bowler. 697, 692, 685 out of the chute for the first 3. That's a monster. That's close to 2,100. That's what you want, Scratch?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah. Great night for them. 21 points. They moved to 6th, and that's a team with Lewis Martin, who bowled bad. Lewis Martin, a high average on the team. Well, not the highest average on the team. Excuse me, 207. But Lewis Martin starts to come around a little bit with those other guys. That's a team that could be a factor right now. They're on a roll.
They got Joe Gordado in the show.
Joe Gordado, very good bowler.
Absolutely. Jockman Falls sub, he shot 279, 697, and swept Bobby Martin.
Wonderful to have subs come in and give you 690.
Great. Blake Bernard sweeps up Apolloni, 692, 791 with the handicap.
Back-to-back sweeps. We haven't had a 24 yet. We got a 22 and 2.
23 and 1 when the.
Well, you had 23 and 1 with Brightview.
Brightview against.
Against Jared Eisenberg. Yeah. So a 21 point in this league is a monster. That's what everybody's looking for. You get a 20-point night here, you're picking up a lot of pins.
And then Todd Laporte came in, he subbed, shot 685, went 3-1 over Littman. Then the good news, Lewis Martin shoots only 584 and able to get a split with Fred Ingles.
Got to break. Fred Ingles is a good bowler. You got to break there.
Big break.
Big
what
break.
You need though. What you need is.
Got to have breaks. It's the luck of the draw in a lot of cases.
Gotcha. All right, match number 4 is going to be team number 18, Audie Fort Myers, 115. They moved up to 17th, and they beat team 16, Thor's Beard, LOL, 9 points, who is in drop down to 15th place.
Well, I got to see Gary Seitz and his son. It seems like when Gary bowls good, the team bowls good. I think I've seen that a number of times now. David Blank is still struggling 1 and 3. John Schmalkowski, 574, but he's got a lot of handicap, 250, 237 for his handicap wins, beating J.J. Feather. Barry Seitz, not where he wants to be, going 1-3, but that's a bowler there. I think if the father and son bowl good, the team bowl good.
I like the bowl good.
Yeah. David Blanken's got to step it up. He's a lot better than 192 average. I mean, he's a heck of a bowler. I watched him shoot 2287 at Spring Hill, all events in one of the Connecticut State run senior tournament, or Hartford run senior tournaments at Spring Hill. Shot 2180 something scratch, 2280 scratch.
That's a lot.
Yeah, good bowler.
You know, Gary swept Dennis Rieger with a 5-pin win in game 2. Josh Brown put together 2 solid games, 213, 215. They go on 3-1 versus Barry Seitz. He shot 630, 732. Lost total by 4 pins.
And they got a break. They got a 2806. I always thought 28 would be the magic number. A lot of 28s lose. They got a break. They only won by 40 pins. Anything could have happened there with that 40-pin loss for Thor's Beards. There's a lot of low scores there with Rieger and Feather. When you lose total by 40 and 2 guys bowl 520, 540, that's a long ride home.
It stings.
That's the long ride home. I had many in my life, and I didn't like them.
It's good seeing Rob Thor still going well. The 641,
Yep.
3-1 over
Rob the Beard.
Yeah, we both tonight with me. Matter of fact. All right, we're going to go match number 5, and that's going to be, if I get my mouse over here correctly and bring it up. There it is. Match number 5 is going to be, this is the first place team. We have the second place team. Hockey Baby only took 5. They dropped from 2nd to 4th, and Brightview took 19th and took a big lead.
And if you'll notice, they had a lineup change. They put MacGyver last against Hammerton, and he splits with them. And Chris Ubik has been anchor all year, goes first against Gabe Rowe and only takes 1. Little strategy there that sort of backfired. Scott McDonald coming in as a great sub, 674, but only took 1 against, well, who else? John Pfister. John Pfister right now is telling everybody I can win high average in this league, especially Dave Stouffer. And he said he wanted it in an interview that we had that you know that he wants that. And that's what makes the league so good, is when you really want something. You want high average, you want high team, you want high team game. It's not necessarily about team, you want other things in it. I like that. Every league I ever bowled in my life, I wanted high average. I wanted to win a league. But I wanted to make the statement that I had high average in the league, and he wants to make that statement.
Best bowler league.
Great statement.
Absolutely.
Plus, he's beaten some great bowlers.
A lot of great bowlers.
Look at what they did, though. 3-1 for Roa, 3-1 Tchaikovsky, 3-1 Pfister. I want to see Tchaikovsky's won and lost record. It was leading the league at 30-10 for a while. I want to see his won and lost points. I'll bet they're over 700. Yeah, he might have one of the best won and lost in the league. And great team. And there's the boss coming in. The great Robert Eddy.
Want to do the big mouse? Do you want to step in here for a second? All right. Yeah, match number 5, we had Chris Hudbeck struggle versus Gabe Roa, who shot 684, 708 to go 1-3. Scott Jagalsi also struggled, shot 633, was able to go 3-1 versus Jim Shirk. Scott McDonald versus John Pfister. This is scratch versus scratch. And Pfister pulled out the match 7-16 the 268 game.
And this is a low handicap team like FIGJAM. Now here's the scenario for you. Low handicap team like FIGJAM. 43 pins a game. They're leading the league. FIGJAM maybe 25 to 30 pins a game. Very close in individual averages.
Yeah, they are.
Can't beat anybody. They're 12, 13th, 14th in the league. So here's a team with 4 bowlers, 214, 221, 236, 219, leading the league, considered to be a scratch team. Right? They're leading the league, and probably on paper the best scratch team in the league. Can't beat anybody. Unbelievable. But that's what makes 90% of 235 so interesting, because the luck of the draw has a lot to do with it. You draw the wrong team on the wrong night, they're a handicapped team and they shoot 2,400. They're getting 150 a game. There's 2850, 29 after handicapped, and FIGJAM's got a problem because they got to shoot that scratch to win.
They do. I think they have a lot of pressure on them. I think they try to.
I do too. I think there's definitely a lot of. I do too. There's a lot of pressure on them, especially if they get out of the shoot slow in game 1, like they did last week, where they got beat up pretty good. And all of a sudden, you got the little deer in the headlights. Start off game 2, you get an open, a double, and an open. All of a sudden, it's not fun.
Yeah, they're always trying to press.
Yeah.
Also, you know, back when Bob McIver took the first 2 games, there was a Hammerton, but Bobby shot 277 game 3 to take total. And
Bobby Hammerton is a very good bowler, very stoic. You know what I like about Bobby Hammerton? Very little emotion, just gets up there and lets his ball do his talking. They don't say much. Bobby's a very quiet man. The ball does the talking. I think it's wonderful.
Yeah, me too. And, you know, those guys are always loose, they seem. That's the difference. I mean, look at, Bobby's down, games 1 and 2, and he should be a big game and pulls a split.
Well,
Those points are important.
they have a great chemistry. I think that with Fister and Tchaikovsky, two older guys, both bowling very well, a lefty and a righty, let the two younger guys sort of get loose and get going. One thing I do know, when you got a guy on your team averaging 236, you know you got a couple of frames to get lined up without a lot of pressure on you. He's hitting the pocket every ball, every week. I mean, every ball. It's a 10, a 4, a 7, and 8. He's had several 700s. He's had an 8. Every week he's 680 to 740. So he's right there. And the team knows it. The team knows it. Well, if you know it, boy, that's a little less pressure.
Yeah, and I bowled a rack last year. So is bowl a guy of those caliber, they're going to strike.
Sure they are.
So it loosens you up.
Sure they are.
If I'm the guy that's got to strike, you guys are trouble.
Yeah, the last 3 years I bowled the USBC 2010, 11, 12. I bowled with a great team. And even though I was still a good bowler in my life, in my mind, I wanted to be the 5th best bowler on the team. I didn't want them relying on me. I wanted to give them 640 and they'd say, he bowled great in a team event. I didn't want them saying, we need Litchie to give us 700, because those days are over, unless it's for 4 games.
I hear you.
All
right, match number 6 is going to be team number 3, Autism Awareness. They won 15. They moved way up to 13th. And they bowled against the Goats, who were in 3rd place, who took 9.
Well, there it is, Seymour. And finally, Gassera, there's a 1477 scratch. And if you'll notice, they take 7 out of 8 between them. And this is what this team has been looking for all year. These are the two guys. They start bombing them. This team could go 15, 16, 17 points every night and be right there. They're still not where they want to be in 13th. But you can almost bet they're posturing for the second half. They get year-to-date points up to the top 8, knowing the next 18 weeks they got a shot. Obviously, Gassera's best night with a 69 and a 78, and this is what he's been looking for all year. So obviously he's playing with his hand, changing the ball, maybe changing layouts, changing lineups, trying to figure out the wet-dry, not hit the oil too early, not hit the dry too early. He's trying to get that happy medium with tilt and speed, and I think he's getting it because obviously 760 played him right. It's his best night.
Ice Martinez swept Don Swartziner 677 with 752. House Brown had a terrible game 1, but ended up making a comeback, winning the second and third game for a split. And Donnie Jr. Bowl was 612, 723.
And look at Jay Rucker's score. A 282 in game 1 with handicap to lose by 9. He shoots 267 a game, 281 in game 2. Then he shoots 194. Obviously got wiped out in that game. But Rucker shoots 729, goes 1 and 3. Ice is unique. Ice is throwing plastic thumbless. And Ice is real good. And Ice knows his game. If you talk to Ice and ask him questions about his game, he's just not up there chucking it, hopping, skipping, and jumping. He knows exactly what he's doing. He's throwing a 90 hardness ebonite plastic ball right up the toast, right into the hold spot. If he tugs it and it lays right in the oil, he goes around and rolls smooth. It's a low diff, low RG. It's a pancake weight block. So it's not going to hit the dry and be violent with a 90 hardness cover and that weight block flaring like that with all that differential in RG. He's bowling very well. Thumbless plastic 208 with several big scores in the league and the sweep. Nice bowling for the Iceman.
Yeah, big bad Billy Seymour. He's back. He shot 717, 67, 68 handicap.
Yeah.
With a 268 for a sweep versus Clay. He struggled a bit. But the match tonight was definitely the Gassera Jay Rucker match.
Yeah.
Game 1, 269, 268 Gassera. Game 2, 267, 213 Jay. Game 3, 278, 194 Gassera.
Yeah. 4 games over 260 for the two of them.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
That's two guys lined up just banging away at each other, and that's what we hope for. Is even in the lower end, you want two 190 guys to shoot 640, and they're banging away at each other at 640. Handicap's going to bring them to 760. Mm-hmm. So that's what we look for. I love 90% at 235. If somebody had told me at the start of the year, I'd love it. I'd say no, I'm not in the handicap. This is different. This gives a team a chance against a good scratch team.
A lot of parity.
I love it. Love parity.
Match number 7 is going to be our friends team number 19, Stupid Corner, won 14. They're still in 24th. They bowled against team number 1, Naples Fire Protection, only won 10, and they're dropping down to 16th.
Yeah, Naples Fire Protection really Andy Cox finally has a great night, and Dennis Pinkel bowling very well again. Got his average, back up to 226. But they're 7-1, only give them 10 points. Two guys in front of them only took 3. So they go 1-3-4-2. Not enough. And 2 very good series, 1,400 between Cox and Beagle, and a 7-1 point total The top two guys just couldn't get it going.
Billy Morgan's not here. He's kind of a spark plug for that team.
Yeah.
He starts striking, gets you real loose, and
Yeah.
a lot of fun.
Scott Whiteleather bowling very well with 656. Danny Wilson, right there, they are 7-1, but they got team points there in team games. There it is, 28-48, a good score. Won by 30. You got to wonder that 28-18, if Billy Morgan's there, that 28-18 ain't going to win.
No.
I mean, 28-48 is going to win. Billy Morgan's been averaging 230 the last 5 weeks.
Absolutely.
So he misses a week. It's a very costly week for that team.
It also is.
Oh, yeah.
Andy Coxwell is extremely solid with 733 series, sweeping Matt Pfeiffer. And he put a change in his mechanics this week. What he did, I talked to him.
Yeah.
He crowds the foul line.
Yeah, got back a
Yeah,
little.
he moved back.
Changed his footwork a little, length of his steps, loosened his swing up a little. That gets so bunched up to the foul line, we got to force everything.
He bowled well on Tuesday and Wednesday back to back.
Good for him. And Dennis back with a 173 start. He's got to be asking himself, what happened to my bowling? And all of a sudden, whammo, 245, 266. Nice to see. He's a very, very good bowler, and he's a little lost last month, and not like he was the first 8 weeks. And all of a sudden, looks like those last 2 games he made a change and did something.
Definitely, Mike Boyd, took game 1, has been going very well, but Dennis Beagle, the 2019 Proprietors champ, put together games of 245, 266 to take Mike 3-1.
Yeah.
That's all we hope, right?
Yeah.
All right, match number 8 is going to be our friends at team number 7 Big B bowling tournament. They took 8 and they dropped to 22nd. They bowled against team number 17 OMWB, who took 16th to jump way up to 5th place.
Well, Roy Parrish bowling very well. It's going 2-2. The sweep, Dick Hugland with the sweep of 581, and there it is. The handicap player is 773 handicap. There's a 165 average bowler that literally carried the team. All of that win is him. Got him team games and got him team total. There you go, the handicap bowler carrying the team. I love it. I love seeing a handicap bowler, 165, getting the sweep, getting 773. That encourages other handicap bowlers to say, you know what, I got to take a shot at this league. There you go. There's a man that he's responsible for that team winning.
I'm glad to see Dick. Dick was upset all season because he's older than the 70s. He had hand surgery.
Yeah.
So it's tough coming back from hand surgery, especially at that age.
Oh, yeah.
So
a lot of bones aching.
Exactly right.
A lot of bones aching. Arthritis takes a lot longer to heal. You get a lot of throbbing, a lot of pain, a lot of atrophy in the forearm, the elbow, goes to the shoulder, it travels. Good for him. I love it.
Bowler for
I
his
love
whole
it.
entire life.
I love seeing it.
And
Congratulations to him, and I'm glad you had a good night. Good for you, Dick.
And they jump up to 5th. This team's on a roller coaster. They're in 5th. They got down to 17th. Now they're back.
And they're a big handicap team in 5th place, and they bowled very well. 24-57 scratch with 142 a game. That's a monster. There it is, 28-83. That's a good number.
Yeah, like Big B. Robert Hilton wins games 2 and 3, but Matt Hodgman won game 1, hold on to total 661 to 650.
Barely.
Yeah.
First game gave it to him. The last 2 he struggled.
He did.
Yeah, but he got it.
He did.
2 and 2.
Match number 9 is going to be our favorite team in the league, team number 13, Rolling Thunder. They won 18. They jumped up to 21st. And they beat up on team number 8, Diamond Security, dropped at 19. The question everybody's asking, what is wrong with Diamond Security?
I wouldn't have bet on it. There's no way. Rizzo all of a sudden a bad week again, 0-4, and then yet Schumacher goes 3-1. They're both lefties. Schumacher only with 641. John Totten struggling. But the interesting thing is Herbie the Hat Klein and Rob Rosser, who goes 125 the first game. Then he goes 173, 178 with handicap. So he's got 248, 243, 686. Good for him. He's in his late 70s. He's a wonderful man. He loves to bowl. He practices 5 days a week. He goes 3-1. Herbie Klein 4-0. But after that, 2-2, 1-3, and they got lucky. They take 18 points. Amazing.
And Ron Rosser's wife brings us cookies and donuts.
Yes. Mrs. Rosser, thank you for the cookies and donuts. I missed them last Wednesday.
Yeah,
I'll get a double portion this
She
Wednesday.
didn't bring any last Wednesday because she knew you weren't here.
Oh, but she saved them.
I had to starve.
I love it. I get
starving.
free chocolates.
Legit. All right, match number 10 is team number 11. Who took 10.5 points, dropped to 23rd. And they bowled our good friends, team number 6, Luke, who we missed the last couple weeks on this broadcast. They took 13-5 or in 14th place.
Wow. Look at Robert Seeley, his first sweep of the year, 585. Joe Lassick just had a bad night, 178, 140. He throws the ball better than that. I can't believe that he looks pretty good. Throws a full spinner. but he looks good. He's got a pretty good game, but 508 ain't going to cut it. And Bob Seeley, 585, it's enough for the sweep. And 691 for Craig Streetzel, who finally, it's a good bowler.
He's struggling.
He's been struggling, 191, 817 with handicap, so there it is, 817. They get up into them eights. That's a big number, but look, they lost total pins by 28, and they got to ask themselves, where's the 28 pins? It's got to be spare shooting. 28 pins to lose a total. That's why I've been saying all year long, if you're losing in this league because of one pinners, you add them up the end of the night, if there's 7-9 slashes, can't do it. Can't do it. Got to make the one pinners. We'll give you splits. Everybody leaves splits, and they're virtually impossible to make in most cases. But the one pinners, you got 14 inches to hit them.
You do?
That's the key.
Craig Streetzel has the best week of the season so far.
Yeah, good for him.
We definitely needed against Dwayne Billy. He shot 691 and 680, scratch at 817 and 788 to go 3-1.
Wow.
Shoot 680 to 195.
Billy's had some big weeks.
Yeah.
He's had several 780s. Then he had some bad weeks where he was just like a terrible scorer. Very up and down season for him.
Yeah. All right. Match number 11 is team number 9 Taps, who won 14. They moved up to 12th. They bowled against Robert Eddy's team number 4 EVA Pro Shop, who took 10 points, and they dropped to 8th place.
Well, Ruckowski, slowly but surely creeping up in average. 7-10, 1-3. Danny Hyam all of a sudden got a new ball. All of a sudden shooting some low sixes, but he's got some handicap because he bowled bad the early part of the year. All of a sudden he's got a better ball reaction. He was using very old equipment, oil-soaked stuff, didn't bowl for 5 years. The ball's going 60 feet. It's coming off the oil and going blah. Gets a new cover, gets a state-of-the-art core. All of a sudden his average is going up, and he's bowling very well. Bryce Null, who bowled very well a few weeks ago, 1-3 against Joaquin. Joaquin's a superstar in my opinion. And Robert Eddy, 3-1, 3-1, and then all of a sudden Cobb and Ruckowski, the two guys you'd figure could go 4-0. Cobb just couldn't get out of his way after having a great month and averaging 240 to 250 for the month. All of a sudden 622. Ruckowski bowling great, 7-10. But couldn't get around Danny Hyam, who was a big handicap player.
Yeah, Mike Varda took game 1 against Robert Eddy, but Robert swept the rest for a 3-1 victory.
Yeah.
Joaquin lost game 2 to Bryce, 239, 234, but managed to win the rest, going 3-1. Scott won game 1, but Larry Null had the front 9 in game 2 for a 2-6 game, and winning game 3 in total 3-1.
It's amazing. Here's a 27.55. They got a win to 27.50, and Cobb's got to be going home after that one saying, where did I give the 7 pins away in this match? See, that's him. Because that's the guy at 227 shooting 622. He averages 681 a night. He's 59 pins under, and they lose by 7. That's the guy that's averaging 681.
Yeah, but I'm glad Rack shot back-to-back.
Yeah, the Rack came back. The Rack came back. The Rack is great.
Told me that this is his favorite house now.
I'd like to back John Ruckowski. I'll give him 90-10. I'll take 10% just to back him.
Me too.
He's a banker. He should take that bet.
Yeah.
He won't, though. He wants 100%. He knows he's going to win.
All right, the last match of the night is team number 15, Beach Bowl, won 17-8, and they were in 4th place last week. They jumped back up to 2nd.
They're unbelievable.
They bowled against team number 2, Chucky Rucker's Franken Beans, who won 7 and dropped to 9.
And if you'll notice, there's a lineup change. There you go. Lineup change. James Oswald goes from 1st to 3rd in the lineup. Little juggling. Put McElhannick down the bottom where he belongs. Obviously the best bowler on the team. And Charlie Tryon came in 1-3 with 567. Well, he went against a 704 from Durkin. Not too many people going to beat that. 758. But after that, they did very well. They went 3-1, 2-2, 3-1. They got 17 points. Franken Beans bowled pretty good, but 24-76. Against the 25-47, 28-41, 27-04, not enough.
No, but Mike Durkin, he's a team MVP, both solid every single week. He took 3-1 over Charlie Tyron with a 268 game in 704 series. Joe Gatewood bowled very well, taking 3-1 over Brad Zielinski. Joe had the front 10 in game 3. He left a ring 10 for 289.
Joe Gatewood's got the most unique roll on a bowling ball. He's got a reverse. I believe his track's still on the right side. I got to look at it. I'm going to ask him this week. He's thrown a reverse full roller ever since I saw him 20 years ago. The thumbs down, we're really going to put that in slow motion. I wish we could get a camera at the foul line and watch that. Very rare roll, 1 in 1,000. right-handers track the ball on the right side of the thumb hole. I want to see if he still does.
He's a one.
I think he does.
Jerry McClintock bowled great at 721 series.
Yeah, he's good. Good bowler.
Taking 3-1 against a PBA.
Good roller. Must be selling a lot of houses. He's a real estate agent, you know.
I know.
Real estate's going up around here.
He's a rich guy.
Yeah.
Good how about the fun.
Even for me, I got out of the senior trailer park. It went up for me too. I actually live in a house. It's got a foundation. I still wonder. It's the first time in 20 years I lived in something that had a concrete foundation. I've either been on wheels or in the water since '99.
You're moving on up.
Yes, moving up.
My man.
Hopefully.
So that's it for this week. What's going on, Hawks? Everything all right?
Well, in my life's wonderful, and I love this league so much. I really missed it last week. I felt like I missed something in my life that's now part of it. We do plan on some more live streaming very soon, coming up after the first of the year for several other events here at the facility. My friends that have watched me on live stream, there's so many wonderful things, so many nice comments on the Southwest Florida Bowling Circle, and my friends overall on Facebook from around the United States. It's an honor for me to speak to you, especially at the age of 70, you know, you're sliding down the mountain gracefully, or hopefully gracefully, and you get the comments, just wonderful.
Yeah, when you were here for live streaming, everybody just tuned out. So no Larry?
I don't think so. I think you and Greg Sternberg's a wonderful man.
Fantastic.
I've known him 45 years, owned 6 bowling centers in St. Louis, and growing up, had a chance to be around Dick Weber and Nelson Burton and Pete Weber and the great Neil Burton, Masters champion, the greatest, you know, one of the greatest bowling towns in this country when he was growing up. You know, there was 60 or 70 bowling centers in the city of St. Louis proper.
Jeez.
Do you know now there's one?
One in St. Louis?
One. And the center that he owned a piece of, Tropicana, the PBA Tour was there in '92 and '3, and the last set of baseball cards ever published were taken at his bowling center in '93 by Lou Scalia, who put those cards out. He had a booth, and he took the tour pictures and all the stars of the day. There's a lot of people that have those sets uncirculated, put them in plastic. They were taken at Greg Sternberg's bowling center in St. Louis. A little trivia question. Where was the '93 set taken? Tropicana Lanes in St. Louis.
If I get on Jeopardy, I'll remember that.
Yes, you should.
All right, the hot seat this week is going to be on lane 25 and 6. It's going to be Frank and Beans, Mike Durkin, Zelinsky, Khan, and Chucky Rucker against OMWB, Roy Paris, Richard Hogan, Brian Copeland, and Matt Hodgman.
What about 27 and 8, the feature pair?
That's going to be EBA Pro Shop, Robert Eddy, Jock Khan, Scott Cobb, and John Rakowski.
Wow, fantastic. We get a chance to watch Rakowski and Cobb and Khan.
And Robert Eddy.
And Robert Eddy, our owner. I love it. I love it.
You're in for a treat.
I love it.
They're bowling in team number 19 in last place. Danny Wilson, Matt Pfeiffer, Scott Whiteleather, and Mike Boyd. Those guys are going to play.
Well, I like Mike Boyd, and he throws the ball well. Whiteleather bowled very well last week. And his daughter's a fantastic bowler, great junior bowler with a great junior record in the state.
Wow.
So we'll have a lot of fun talking about them.
Can't wait.
And I'm glad you had a chance to do the color. I would love for you to sit with me some weeks.
Not going to happen.
We could tell some stories that you heard about me when I was a young boy, kicking ball returns in the Hartford area and getting banned from bowling centers. What do you think?
Been there.
I think the audience will love to hear some Litchie stories from the 60s when he got the 30-day evacuation notice. Out.
From Bradley Bowl?
Oh, from Meadow Lanes, Bradley Bowl. Every bowling center in Hartford threw me out for at least 1 month.
I ran the Meadows for 2 years.
That was after my temper was simmered down and I retired.
845,
Yeah.
844 back to back.
845,
Yeah,
844 at the Meadows.
Back to back 300s.
Do you know the Meadows has the history? I'll give you a true story. The very first 800 ever shot in New England
The Meadows?
was shot at the Meadows.
Bob Malucci?
Who bowled it?
Bob Malucci?
It was bowled in the Connecticut Cancer Bowl-a-thon in April of 1966 by the great Paul Moser,
Oh,
who 10 years later won the U.S. Open.
Wow.
Yeah, the great Paul Moser shot the first 800 ever in New England. He was left-handed, went 279, 299, and 224 the first game for 803, and I watched it, or 802. I watched it.
Wow.
And I said to myself that day, I will never be as good as Moser. I knew then that he was great. I had a chance to bowl the tour after he left the tour, and by the time I quit the tour, he came back out, won 3 titles, including the U.S. Open. He was fantastic, the most wonderful man, and We called him the Medford Meteor before Marshall Holman was called the Medford Meteor. He was from Medford, Massachusetts.
Wow.
Yeah, you didn't know that, did you?
No. Was the Meadows the same one year? Was it 2 levels?
The Meadows was the same, lower settee, wood lanes, lacquer, excuse me, and that ball come off that 1-2 board back then. It had a high 1-2 board. And if you can get to you can get to it like 3-2, 4-2, you can get to it at the right point. That ball was like hitting a bumper. Wow. And I loved it. Eventually the shot went into 10. I would rather play 10 there than the gutter. The gutter was open, but 10 had a little shim on 11, 12. You can get right on it and get lined up on that.
I love the Meadows.
I could average 250 on a good night.
I was head mechanic there.
You were head mechanic at the Meadows?
I had Ken the GM there.
I was leading money winner at the Meadows.
Really?
Oh, I was. I won a lot of money there in my life.
A lot of characters out there.
Oh, they had some unbelievable characters there. There was more bookmakers in there than there was bowlers. it was an unbelievable place. Awesome. If you wanted action, all you had to go into the pool room. They had cards, crap games, and pool. And if you went outside, they had bowling. You could make the rounds behind lanes 9 and 10 and find 4 different things to gamble on all day. It was like a mini casino. It was great. I loved the Meadows. Now there's a car lot there.
So
in the words of Joni Mitchell, they tore down Paradise and they put up a parking lot.
Love that place.
Yeah.
All right, anything else this week?
No, just looking forward to Wednesday night, live streaming again with all of you. Maybe you'll sit in with me. Greg Sternberg will come in a little. Maybe somebody will be home like Evan Baranecki, who sat with me a little. I love when we have guests and we can ask questions. There's a lot of very educated guests that we like to bring into the booth and have great histories in the sport of bowling. Tom, of course, 30 years being in the business, and of course, Greg Sternberger being the 6-time proprietor, Evan Baranecki being an intercollegiate college champion bowling for Weber at Kegel up there in Lake Wales. So hopefully we'll continue to bring some guests in, and we thank you so much for watching our live stream.
All right, the fastest 30 minutes in bowling's all done.
Yes, we're done. We'll see you at 6:40 Wednesday night for the pregame show.
All right, see you then.
See you then.